Hello, friends, and welcome to your Daily Detroit on a beautiful, sunny, warm Wednesday, April 12th, 2023. I'm Jer Stays, and I have shorts on. That's right, the season is upon us. You know what else I'm thinking about? Another warm weather event. That's going to be Ferndale Pride. That is coming up, and we're going to preview it right on this episode. Let's get started. Joining me in the beautiful North End studio to talk about one of my favorite events in Metro Detroit, Ferndale Pride, Julia Music, organizer behind it, chief cook, bottle washer, all the things. Welcome back to Daily Detroit. It is so good to see you. And of course, love the sweatshirt.
Thank you very much, Jared. It's great to be here.
Yeah. So 13th year, crazy. This is huge.
Yeah, we've really been able to grow the event, and we're really, really lucky that we've just been able to make this event what it's become to be today. Last year was incredible. You were there. The streets were packed. Our governor came out and opened the event, and we have planned even more bigger and better things for 2023.
Yeah, I mean, not only is there the event itself, there are other events leading up to it. But first, I want to make a mention that Ferndale Pride is something that's very special in that it's not just a party. It's a party for good. And there was donations and support that you were able to give to local organizations, correct?
Correct. Because of the way our event works, all of our remaining funds, we have a formula where we break that up and donate back to our community. So last year, we actually broke our own record and we gave $29,000 back to nonprofits right in the area. And those nonprofits reach people all over Metro Detroit. And this year, we hope to give almost that much or more because that was just an incredible number. We just surpassed $325,000 since we started the event.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I like it when there's these kind of situations where people can have a good time, come together with great vibes, but also have something come out of it, right? Everyone loves the party. It's great to be on the street there with us in Daily Detroit. We don't just do a tent. I mean, listeners know me. Do I ever just do a tent? Do I ever do anything basically? No. We bring the 10-foot pride arch. We bring the photos, everything else, do the whole thing. Because you got to get into the spirit, right? It's Pride. If you don't get into the spirit, man.
Yeah, I mean, your space always looks so cool. And actually, some of our drag staff was talking about coming down and getting some pictures in front of that arch because it's just iconic at this point.
Well, they are always welcome, 100%. Let's get into some of the events leading up before we talk about the main thing in June. What I like about this event is that there are ways to interact with the community. You know, in so many ways, Ferndale is such a hub of this community. And it is so important to bring people together, not just for the big thing, but over time. And so there's like these series of events that I really want to talk about. And looking at the calendar, Pokemon Quizzo.
Yeah, we're going to do a Pokemon Quizzo event over at Be Nectar.
I feel like Fletcher will be there.
He should be, for sure. He should come out and play. Doors are at 7:30 for that event. It's a $10 buy-in, and all of the prizes that night will be Pokemon or Be Nectar related. A lot of Pokemon pun prizes. So if you have a witty sense of humor, this will be a fun event for you.
I do like a good pun. It's definitely a good thing. And Be Nectar, always a good excuse to go out there.
Yeah, it's just a great space. They are a fair wages bar, which is really awesome.
So what does that mean for listeners who don't know?
So they pay all of their employees a living wage, and I believe they are over $15 an hour. Then all of the tips for that bar go back to a charity that the employees get to collectively vote on. So in June, we're their charity of choice, but when we have this event, we'll encourage people to tip for whatever charity they're working with this month.
Very cool. Very cool. And then continuing on in April, the fun continues.
Yeah, Cougar Hunt is coming up. So we have two contests, a Hot Daddies contest and a Cougar Hunt.
I'd like to break some news here. I talked with engineer Randy. He says he's going to throw himself in for Hot Daddies next year.
Really?
He says he wants to do it. He feels like he needs to step up.
He does. I think he would make a great representative of Hot Daddies. So these contests, they're really just to have some fun and raise some funds for the event. The rules are you have to be 35 or older and want the title. No matter what gender you are, you can enter whichever contest suits you best, if you're a cougar or a daddy. The winner is the person who raises the most money, and they get a sash. They get to join me on stage during opening ceremonies and be congratulated. It's a really fun night. Metro Magazine and Patron are helping us put it on, and it'll be over at the 215. It is free to get in, and DJ Reezy will be spinning.
Very cool. Very cool. I mean, heck, there's a sash.
There's a sash, and they're beautiful, and you get to wear them throughout all of Pride and throughout your entire reign if you want.
And then we have Meat Fest.
So yeah, we are joining Perry Wayne. Perry Wayne is a Detroit designer who designs underwear.
Oh.
He is incredible designs, and he is doing a live auction where you can purchase the underwear off of the model, and Ferndale Pride is one of the charities that will be recipients of the funds from that event.
Very cool. Very cool. And where is that going to be at?
That one is also going to be at 215 West. So
Okay.
a lot of our events end up at 215 West.
And where is that?
That is right next to Soho on 9 Mile. It is.
So just west of Woodward.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
west of Woodward.
Hence the west. But we've got such a regional audience. I want to make sure they know and feel oriented if they decide to, poke their head in, or they want to, meet some people or go see people or support, that they feel as comfortable as possible. And there's parking back there too. There's the garage, there's some lots, things like that.
Yeah. So the parking deck, which is the dot right behind 215 West, is a little bit less expensive if you come down to Ferndale. You should definitely park over there, and then it gets you right over to the 215, which is a newer space, and it's a great party space.
And then as we start to approach the big day, a rainbow raffle.
Yeah, so this is one of our biggest events of the entire year. It takes place during an event called First Wednesday, which is Ladies' Night that's been in Ferndale for generations now, and now happens at the 215. Nina Sophia of Nina and the Buffalo Riders will be opening the night, and then we'll have DJs spinning all the way till 2 a.m. We'll have about 100 raffle prizes that are valued at $100 or more. And so
Wow.
we
So
do
big prizes.
big prizes, awesome prizes. We do it tin can raffle style, so you can buy your tickets, all sorts of denominations of how many tickets you can buy. And then you toss tickets in the baskets. And at the end of the night, lots of people walk out with amazing prizes. That raffle has raised over $5,000 last year, thanks to Rolanda Kelly and Jess Walsh, who had that event. They want to break their record this year. So it'd be a great night to come out, support us, but also walk out with something incredible.
Yeah. And this helps not only, we talked about the charities, but also helps put this event on, because there is a ton of work involved in this. And people need to know that, this is something that, you kind of help lead up and the community does, but it's not like there's some giant checks coming from outside. You all have to raise your own money, make all those things kind of happen, get sponsors, all that kind of stuff,
Between the volunteers and myself, we do this all just out of the love of our hearts, really.
But it is appreciated. We've been talking about some big prizes and some big ways to give back, but now we're going to talk about some small packages.
So our friends over at Detroit GT, Chris Gorski and our friend Sean Evans, dreamt up an event where we have artists from all over the area who they buy into the event with buying a $10 buy-in gets them a cigar box. Then they create something out of their cigar box, a work of art of some sort. They come back to the event and we auction it off over the evening. We have wine and cheese, and we will have a smart bar that evening, and people walk out with beautiful pieces of art. If you are an artist and want to get involved and you go to our website, there's a way you can click to get your cigar box to get set up, because you do still have some time to create that piece of art. And then if you just want to join us that night, the information's also on our website.
And then even closer to the event, we have the interfaith service.
This event is free to the public. It is not a fundraiser. We have people from all over the area who have come to volunteer their time to lift people up in prayer from different faiths. So we have people of as many faiths as we can find. And if you are of the Muslim faith and you are a faith leader in your community and would like to join us with some affirmations of queer joy, we are looking for you to join us. So you can definitely get in touch with me through our website. But that event's just a lovely day of prayer. It is a ASL interpreted event, so please come out and join us if you feel that you need some spiritual love in your life from LGBT positive leaders.
This next event I'm going to mention actually happens after Ferndale Pride. Then we'll talk about the big event. Okay. But there is a golf scramble over at Rackham Golf Course, which always a fun time if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I grew up in Huntington Woods, so I have not had the opportunity to throw an event in Huntington Woods since probably like my 4th grade birthday party. So
I bet it was a big one. It was a fun one.
It was probably very fun back then, but I don't remember it very well. So Rackham is going to be the golf course that we are going to do 18 holes at. There's going to be all sorts of prizes: longest drive, closest to the pin, the Vegas hole, 50-50, all those types of fun things. And then we're going to go back to the 215 for the 19th hole where we'll have a full buffet and we'll give away a ton of prizes to our winners, and then also door prizes. There are ways that people can get involved with sponsoring that. And then there's also tickets for sale at our website as well.
And what I like about this is it seems like there's really an event for everyone. Like whatever vibe you're looking for, if you're looking for the party vibe, if you're looking for the fun vibe, if you're looking for the wine and cheese vibe, or heck, hit a golf ball. I like this. I like that there's different energies for this.
Yeah, and we do have some other events that we haven't posted yet just because we're still working on the details, but there'll be a psychic event. There'll be some more drag shows coming up. So we'll try to make sure that people have the ability to gather and hang out with us all year long.
You know, it's coming to me now, Julia. I have a prediction.
Okay.
I have a prediction that you're going to be at Ferndale Pride on June 3rd.
I will be. I would not miss it for the world. We are so excited to do the 13th annual Ferndale Pride. We have expanded the event this year, which we're very excited about. We have 10 food trucks coming. We have a newly expanded children's area. So if you do have kids, there will be a lot of things to do with your kids to keep them occupied that day. And then, of course, our main stage will open up at 12:30 with our opening ceremonies. Some politicians will hopefully open that event with me. And then our stages will be going from 1 all the way till 8 o'clock. And the booths will line the event. We have over 200 vendors this year, so the most we've ever had. And we also have mutual aid going on that day as well. So people can come in for different health services, free clothing. We're hoping to have some free food for folks. So we really try to make this event not just a day of celebration, but also a day of getting folks the services they need.
For sure, for sure. You know, for people who maybe didn't listen last year, how did you get involved in all this stuff?
Ooh, that goes back really far, but I'm going to just get you to the Ferndale Pride part. Motor City Pride has moved from Royal Oak to Ferndale, and about 13 years ago now, they decided they were going to make the jump and move to Detroit, which makes sense. They are Motor City Pride, and they needed more space. They really had outgrown Ferndale. But Ferndale being the home of the LGBT community, really in Michigan, there are 4 of us, Craig Covey, Monica Mills, and Councilman Greg Polika, and myself, who decided we really needed a Pride Festival here in Ferndale, not just for our community, not just for our businesses, but also just for the spirit of what Ferndale is. And so we had a couple months and we threw together some marches, and then it just kind of kept growing. And then when Craig, around, I think it was year 7, Craig said, I think it's time for me to retire. Would you like to take over? And I said, well, that's good, because I was about to call you on my way home to say, if you are ready to retire, I'm ready to take over. And I was
serendipity.
I was very scared to call my mentor at that time and say, I'm ready for this jump. So luckily he called me, and I did. And my vision has always been the vision of the 4 of us at the beginning, which is we're going to give back to charities. We're going to keep the event free. We believe everyone should be able to come to a Pride Festival, no matter what their finances look like. And we are going to make it bigger every year, better every year, and more inclusive. So that's what we've been able to do. And I'm lucky that is what I get to do every day with my life.
Yeah. And it's great to see you hustling around. We end up meeting or having coffee throughout the year, talking about various things, because I'm just so glad to try to help in our little way to support what's going on here. What's something that you've learned in the last decade and change doing this?
So much has changed in the last decade. I really have learned that when you are inclusive and you support the entire community, it gives a karma to the event that makes it really special. So when you see the asexual tent at Pride and you see that group having their special day at a Pride Festival, not relinquished to just, I'm wearing my garb, but I don't have representation here. That's really important to us. Making sure that we give access to intersex folks to have a booth each year, really important to us. And just making sure that everyone feels included. And that's not always easy, because obviously you can't make everyone happy, but we have worked to expand so many areas of the event to make things more inclusive, that I think my learning is always just, who am I missing and how do I bring them into the event in a loving and caring way?
Well, if you want to be part of this event, and you will see us out there with the Daily Detroit booth, June 3rd, 2023. It is a Saturday, so
yes.
Giddy up, get ready. FerndalePride.com has all the information that you're going to need for this, for attending, all the other stuff. And I'm sure as you have more updates, you're going to stop by the studio, right, Julia?
Yeah, I hope to get back out here. All of our information, like you said, is on the website. We also have Instagram and Facebook as well. Those are our main ways of communicating with folks. And we also want to just make sure that we thank Live Cannabis, because without them, I don't know that we could do this so easily. They came on board as a main sponsor the day after last year's Pride. So we want to shout them out.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Julia Music at FerndalePride.com. Go check it out. We'll see you there. Well, I hope you caught some fun, inclusive summer vibes with this episode. Yesterday's episode, oh my gosh, the feedback, a lot. We're going to sort through it in a future thing. I'll give people a few days, to listen to it and give us some more feedback, dailydetroit@gmail.com. Of course, on this episode too, as always, thanks to our members on Patreon, patreon.com/dailydetroit. Local funding helps keep local media alive. With that, I am Jer Stays. Remember that you are somebody, and we'll see you around Detroit. We'll talk tomorrow.